In this video, I'm going to show you guys some tips and tricks for realistic build fights. I'm going to break down 1v1 fights that I had in arena. I'm going to show you guys some of the tips that you might not pick up on. These are a lot of tips that pro players use as well. I'm not calling myself a pro, but I like to say that I follow pro players and I study their game and I incorporate their tips into my own game. So I'm going to break it down for you guys so you guys can start implementing it into your games as well. Also, before this video starts, if you want to further support me, make sure you use my creator code KenBeans, and also make sure you drop a like, maybe subscribe. I'd appreciate it a whole lot. We got more videos like this coming soon, but without further ado, let's get into the first fight. So if you notice right here, the very first thing I do when I get shot is I build and I go for height. Once I tried to go for height, I realized that it was way too late. So what I did was I placed a floor and a cone, but I did not box myself in. That's really important. And I knew if I ran to the house, I'd be better connected and I would have a better chance at winning because he won't knock me down. So the second he dropped on my box, I knew he was a very aggro player and wanted to get into my box. Whether he was on a controller or not, I knew he was very aggro and I wanted to play this very carefully. So I end up going for a peanut butter shot right here, but I get pre-fired and it was a very good shot by him. Props to this guy. He did a really good job of backing up, getting out of my field of view, and then trying to shoot me. So from here, I'm just trying to run. And the best thing you can do in this situation is just keep trying to relocate. You want to work on getting the high ground slowly. From here, he knows that I'm weak, so he's going to keep pushing me. So this is where raw skill will come into play here. You have to work on taking protected shots when he's either in the air or he's just kind of confused and he doesn't know where you are. The more you do these protective builds and try and work on these shots, he's gonna try and lay off you if he gets hit hard enough. So if you notice, the very first thing I do is I kind of take a crouch peek shot and I hit him 64 and build almost instantly. And then from here, I'm cranking, trying to keep height. I'm not overbuilding at all, conserving mats. I see him come up and I hit him 80 right there. Now I know the playing field is kind of leveled. He might back up, he's trying to heal, and I want to heal. So right now, I'm just kind of 50-50ing him. I'm dropping down on his wall. And if you notice here, as I'm wall replacing, I'm kind of just ready with my shotgun out, ready to shoot him. I already know that if he edits, I can one-tack the wall and claim it as mine. So I'm just editing, trying to confuse him, staying on the right-hand peak, which is really, really important. You want to work on keeping that and controlling the right-hand peak. You always want right-hand advantage. It will help you win fights. So right here, the main thing is you want to note is that I blocked off the places he was trying to get high ground. At the same time, I conserve mats. You don't see me overbuilding, placing cones everywhere. I know that the only two spots he's going to come from is there. So I place 2 walls and I conserve mats. That way I know I'm not wasting mats and I don't have to build fight him. And if he comes up, I could just shoot him with attack or make a quick edit. One big tip that I want to point out is pre-firing. You can see right here at the beginning of the fight, this guy did not place a wall in front of his stair and I saw exactly where he was. So I did a quick pre-fire shot on him, got 18 damage, which is not a lot, but if I had a good pump, it probably could have been better. Now, the next thing I want to point out is that I waited for this guy to have his pickaxe out before I opened up my tiles to edit the floor. It's really important to note that whenever you want to go for a shot, whether you're edit peeking or whatever the case may be, you want to make sure that the guy has his pickaxe out or his map out so he won't be able to get a shot on you when you open up your wall. So when you talk about retaking high ground, one of the ways I do it is this right here. What I do is I act like I'm double ramping up, and the second I see a player model, I kind of let him do all the work. I make him make the first move and then react and counter to it. That's the best way to kill someone. So what I did was I just placed the stair on top of him and then I kind of looked and I saw where he was. That way I'm gathering information. Now I'm just kind of playing mind games with him. I'm knocking stuff down, just being weird and awkward. And right here, I run up and continue the scissor ramp, and now he's literally looking the opposite direction. Free high ground for me. Now from here, I do one of these side jumps and I try and connect myself with a floor and it ends up working. And if I hit a bigger pump shot, I probably would have killed him, but I hit him 32 white, so I know I had the advantage. Literally all I had to do here was just pressure his top wall because he didn't place a cone on it, and I knew that I can probably get one shot on him, and that's exactly what happened. Make sure that you're always aiming at a player whenever you're trying to shoot through builds. Don't just shoot at walls walls just to try and break it, make sure you're always aiming at the guy. This fight right here lasted a while. This was with a guy who was kind of sweaty. This fight is a good example of a sweaty player because he actually kind of knew what he was doing. He knew how to box fight at least a little bit. I end up killing him here, but the most important thing to note is that when you're going down into a player's house like this, it's really kind of sketch because none of this stuff is yours. So you just have to really pay attention and be really aware of your surroundings, understand where the guy is at, right? So when I first go down this house, the first thing I do is I start replacing everything and make it mine. I make sure that all the walls that could be broken are broken because I want to have every angle on this guy possible. So what I'm doing here is pretty basic stuff at the moment. I'm just kind of resetting things and I'm taking protected peek shots. I'm trying to bait him into editing his wall. That way I can snag it like right there, but it turns out it didn't work. So I'm resetting, just farming match, just kind of wasting time. And then he ends up going for a wall replace here. Now it's just playing mind games. I reset that because I saw he got it. Now I'm waiting, I'm farming up. One thing important to note is that the second I saw that stair get edited, I tried to claim it and put a cone there instead. This is just me working on piece control, I believe it's called, and I'm just claiming everything possible. Then I said screw it, and I full sent, and it turns out I wasn't able to get that wall, and I almost died right here, but luckily I had this cone below me. And then I came back up, reset. If you guys don't know this, all you have to do to wall replace this is just kind of look down further than you might think, and then just try and wall replace, and you might be able to get it. So then I said screw it, and I end up just trying to refresh, just gain more mats, gain more shield and stuff. I was like, I don't want to fight this guy, he's too sweaty, and then I end up backing up. Then it turns out that he actually gets a shot on me for 12 damage, so I come down and I wall replace his cone. The second I get the cone, I realize that he's right there waiting for me to edit, so I do one quick swing, and I don't know if you saw that, but I went right to the left to get right hand peek, and also so he can't see me and gets less damage. And it turns out that I got 60 damage and he got 30. That's an exchange I want, so I full send, and I know right off the bat that when he resets that wall's gonna be one shot, so I tack it. But I don't know if you noticed, right before I tack, I realize where he is. There's a split-second delay where I realize where he is, and then I go into his box. I don't ever just full send into someone's box without really knowing where they are. That's good practice. That's what you want to do. I want to point out this really high IQ play. I heard this guy in this house and I saw him. I hit him white. And this is just showing you that you should always use everything in your inventory to your advantage. This guy thought he was getting those minis until I finessed them from him. And then literally he ran out. I thought it was pretty funny. I just thought I had to add this. This just goes to show that you should always use everything in your inventory to your advantage. You never know when a thing like a harpoon might come in handy. Now this play right here was a little bit sketchy. I went into this building knowing that there was a guy in here, a team was fighting. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but the second I saw that guy on the right hand side, I had a split second to just run as fast as I can to the other side to try and get cover. If I would have tried to turn and fight that guy in the stairs right there before trying to get right hand peek and make him chase me, I probably would have been a way easier target and took a lot more damage. But instead I did a heads up play, ran ahead to the right hand peek, and then did a quick flick shot and built. So I don't know if you guys know this, but if you just place a stair, it breaks all the builds there and it allows you to protect yourself while you pop shields like this. And I just want to point out that I know this guy has an RPG, so I want to keep that in mind. I have very little mats. I don't want him to RPG my builds because then I'll have to spend all my mats to rebuild it. So I have shambles mats, and I know this guy is attacking my wall. He's being really aggressive. I'm waiting for him to get a little too aggressive and take a nice little peek shot. And I end up doing that right here. If you see, I just do a nice little edit while he has his pickaxe out. He's taken off guard. Perfect. So I have very little mats in this situation, and I'm trying to build up because I don't want this guy to RPG spam me. So what I do is I build out, and I don't know if you guys saw that, but I actually was able to place a wall behind his stair. Right there, it wasn't able to work, but usually whenever I'm in a creative or any 1v1, for example, I block a lot of people with that build. It's a very, very good build. Learn this move because it's really good in 1v1. It stops people in their tracks and allows you to get high ground, but right there it didn't work. This is a poor example, but I still wanted to point it out anyway. I just want to let you guys know that I do live stream on Twitch very often, so if you have any further questions, feel free to come through the Discord or the Twitch chat as well. I'm very active on everything. We have a whole community and we're growing really fast. I really appreciate all the support. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe on this video, and also I want to let you know that if you tell tell me a video idea that I have not done yet, I will shout out any one of your social medias. So just leave a comment saying what video idea I should do next and leave your @ for the social media you want. I'm gonna tag that person who gave me the idea in the video description. So if you guys want a chance to be shouted out in the description of any one of my future videos, make sure you do that. Until then, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Don't forget to drop a like. Have a good night, everyone. Peace.